right. Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples for his younger brothers. And peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Shai. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Shai. All right. And what I want to get into this morning, through the spirit and all right, in the power of Yahweh Bashem Shai is going into how great servants, make great rulers. And you look into, the history of the scriptures, all right, and you find, that pattern, how the Lord, will raise up particular men, you know, from humble beginnings, and put them in positions of authority. Okay. You look at King David, all right, being the shepherd boy. All right. Matter of fact, let's get that account, you know, and just read it. Um, let's get Second Samuel. All right. And this is when King David is inquiring of Nathan the prophet about building a house unto Yahweh by Shemal Shai. Okay. Now this is 2 Samuel 7 and 8. It says, now therefore, so shalt thou say unto my servant David, thus saith the Lord of hosts, I took thee from the sheep cot, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people, over Israel. And I was with thee whithersoever thou wentest, and have cut off all thy enemies out of thy sight, and have made thee a great name like unto the name of great men that are in the earth. Okay, so you look at King David, he went from a position, all right, of a servant, okay, as a shepherd boy, okay, to a ruler over Israel. But when he was a shepherd, the Most High was teaching him, all right, how to care for people, as he was tending to the sheep, as he was willing to put his life on the line, okay, to fight, wild beasts. Okay, you go into the scriptures, these nations are like wild beasts, you know. So he was willing to sacrifice himself to fight wild beasts and to preserve, okay, the sheep, and those attributes helped him when he was king, as he was becoming king, because he was known for what? To be a great warrior where he went to battle with these heathens, with like you go into the scripture liken these heathens unto beasts and the Israel likened unto sheep, So when he was king, he was pretty much doing the same thing, just on a larger magnitude, man, you know? So the things that we learn, as we serve, all right, cause this grace period was meant for us to learn how to serve. It was meant for us to understand, the will of Yahweh Bashem Shai, you know, like we're becoming, these wise rulers, these perfect and balanced rulers, man, you know, within this captivity, all right, within this grace period, you know. So we're going from servants, all right, to rulers, but even in our rulership, we're still going to be doing a service to the people. Okay, and that's one of the things Yahweh Shai was drilling, okay, into the disciples. He was teaching them about righteous rulership, and that's why he would always go hard against the wicked rulership of the time, you know, which was pretty much serving themselves, man, while the people suffered. Okay, and Yahweh Shai seen that, and that's why he was, so hard, and so adamant on the disciples, okay, because he was instilling in them leadership qualities, man, and that's what's being instilled into us now, is leadership qualities, man, you know. So, matter of fact, let's go here. It's the book of Matthew chapter 9, okay. It's the book of Matthew chapter 9, verse 35, and it says, and Yahweh Shai went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion, and because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. You see? So he's in the Roman, okay, empire. He's in the Roman captivity in Judea, and he's looking out amongst Jake, and he sees that there's no leadership. Just the scribes and Pharisees, they was pretty much sellouts. Okay, they benefited off the position. They pretty much turned the priesthood into a political office under the Romans. Okay, just another position for clout and vain glory. Okay, but they wasn't doing the service to the people. Okay, they wasn't like when you read about Ananias. Okay, matter of fact, let's get that. Because Ananias, when you read the book of the Maccabees, Ananias, all right, he was an example of good leadership. Okay, and he was the high priest. Okay, before his wicked brother, Jason pretty much supplanted him. By dealing backhanded with the Greeks. Okay, but you go here, it might be Second Maccabees. Uh, yeah, I think it's Second Maccabees, the third chapter. Okay, where it speaks about Ananias. All right. Uh, this is Second Maccabees 3:1. It says, "Now when the holy city was inhabited with all peace, and the laws were kept very well, because of the goodliness, means like because of the godliness of Ananias the high priest and his hatred of wickedness, man." Okay? So when you go into this chapter, it goes into how Ananias, he had the treasury, on point, where there was always money for, the widows, women who had lost their husband. There was money for them, the widows and the fatherless. There was money put up for them. He hated wickedness, so he pretty much, was a great example of the law, and he pushed the law amongst his people. He wasn't a hypocrite, okay? So you read this whole chapter, which is a good read, Second Maccabees, the third chapter, you see leadership qualities of Ananias on how his leadership benefited everybody. It didn't just benefit him. All right. You had this wicked brother Jason. He wanted to be high priest because of the benefits and the clout and the status. Okay. And as you see men in Israel today, they want these certain spots and they want to be looked at in a certain light. They want to be leaders for clout and for status, but their leadership doesn't benefit anyone but them. Okay, and it benefits them carnally. Okay, and see, good Israelite leadership, should benefit everyone first spiritually by having Israel in a good standing with Yahweh by Shemal Shai. Okay, and then the Lord will bless blessed with certain perks and resources. Okay, so this is what Yahweh Shai was pushing to the disciples, and I want to get that example, man. Okay, but with Ananias, it said that the city was in peace. Okay, and the city was in order. Okay, matter of fact, let's get that real quick as well. And Sirach chapter 10, which we always get it. You know, um, it's the book Sirach chapter 10, verse 1. It says, "A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered." And Ananias was a great example of that, man. You know, under his uh, under his authority, the city was well ordered, and there was a era of peace. Okay, King Solomon, he had that era of peace. You see, but it came from what King David pretty much sacrificing himself through war, to create that peace. And that was like the Israelite golden age. That rulership of King David. Followed by King Solomon, man. Okay, there was an era of great rulers. All right, and we're going back to this. It's going to be permanent. It's going to be Yahushua, King David and his lot, the rest of the 12, then the rest of the first fruit, 144,000, and the nation, the one third elect, okay, in their order, and everyone is going to benefit off of righteous rulership, man. Eventually, even the heathens, okay. Well, let's get into these accounts. When you go to the book of Matthew, chapter 18, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 18, all right, verse 1. It says, at the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Okay, and you go into this word greatest. Let's get this in the Greek. We get the Edom. All right, so the disciples coming to him and they're inquiring about who gonna be the greatest. All right, and what were they speaking of? Okay, so you go into the root word in the Greek is megas. All right, so you get the word mega from. Okay, megas. All right, it says yeah, yep, it says predicated when you go into subsection 2. It says predicated of rank as belonging to persons eminent for ability, virtue, authority, power, things esteemed, all right, highly for their importance of great moment of great weight, importance, a thing to be highly esteemed for its excellence and excellent. Okay, so they was inquiring about like who's gonna have the greatest rank, like who's gonna be that guy in the kingdom. You know, that's what they was inquiring. So this is how Yahweh Shai, responds. Okay, it said because remember all they see is how the leadership is doing now. I mean, how the leadership was doing back then. The wicked scribes and Pharisees, they seeing how they move. So they inquire about, well, who's going to be the greatest? And then they was in the Roman Empire, where it was about vain glory and clout, when you go into the ranks of the Romans, okay? The leaders, of Rome, they didn't serve the people, they served themselves, man. Corruption, okay? You will have the super rich and then you have the super poor. Well, whenever you got circumstances where you got the super rich and the super poor, that's a result of poor leadership. Okay? That means things aren't being distributed fairly. All right? We got those examples in King Solomon's rulership when it said every man, you know, was under their own fig tree, which means every man had their own substance under King Solomon. He spoke about how King Solomon had silver and stones in Jerusalem. Okay, showing you just how good the economy was and everybody was straight. Okay, wealth was distributed, throughout his kingdom, and he was still the richest man ever. But guess what? Wealth, everybody benefited off King Solomon's wealth, man, and his wisdom and his business savvy. Everybody, the whole nation benefited off of him, not just him. Okay, so when you and like how should I say it, one greater than Solomon is here, man. Okay, this is Matthew 18 and 2. So this is Yahweh response, and Yahweh called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them and said, verily I say unto you, except you be converted and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. So Yahweh he's letting them know, well, first of all, you have to be converted to like a little children, like a mind of a child. Your mind has to be converted to like a mind of a child. And when he's speaking of that, he's speaking of humility and sincerity, man. Because children, they're naturally, humble. Even if you have a child that is gifted, he doesn't become proud until he gets older, and he becomes proud, but when a child is younger, he's sincere, he has this humility, he's very impressionable, open to learn, okay? And before we begin, becoming great, all right, we have to be humbled down. the first step to becoming great is being humble. Okay, understanding that we can be wrong, understanding that we need improvements, understanding that we're not above correction, man. Okay, and that's one of the first phases of becoming okay great. So Yahweh Shai like, look, first y'all gotta humble down. You talking about who's gonna be the greatest in the kingdom? First of all, you have to humble down. That's step one. Okay, before we even talk about any type of rank or status in the kingdom, phase one is humbling down. Okay, so when you go to the book of Sirach again, all right, the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 18, it says, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. Okay? And like I say, this grace period, this is why the Lord has us in this lower state, because we needed to be humble. You know, when we was in, our rulerships, you go throughout the history, we was in our power, we will get proud and get beside ourselves, man. Okay? And this captivity is a great humbling for us, man. Oh, all right. So this current captivity that we're in, it serves as a great humbling for us, man, as the sons of God. Okay? Because even if you look at how this system is set up, you know, it's not meant for an Israelite man to be a man in this society. You know, that's why the women have all the power. Like in this society, as an Israelite man, it's like you go from the authority of your mother to the authority of your woman. It's like it's never meant for you to become a man in this society. The way it's set up. That's why the scriptures say, hey, remember yourselves men. Okay? That's why we have to be reminded, remember yourselves men. Okay? But when you go into what the Lord is doing, He humbled us by making us last, man. You know? And while we're humble, you know, it makes us sincere and willing to listen. Okay? Really, what else can we do? All right, but listen and obey. See, this grace period for the sons of God to learn obedience, man. Yahweh Shai had to learn obedience. Okay, he had to learn to be a servant, as we're going to get into. But the greater thou art, it says, the more humble thyself. Humility, okay, balances out greatness. You know, so the more greater we are, the more, because see, as we come into the truth, man, and we begin to conquer ourselves, okay, the Lord starts to give us authority over particular things. You know, we get authority, over ourselves. It's that phase one. You know, then you start to, get authority over your family. Your family might come under your order. Okay, you might get authority over brothers in the camp. All right, and as we are rising in authority, we should also elevate in humility. Okay, because if you're just rising in authority and not elevating in humility, then that's when pride elevates. See, humility cancels out pride. Being in the mindset of a servant, that cancels out pride. When you look at leadership from the aspect of serving, okay, we're serving. That's why, like Elder Apostle Bar say, we're not no damn celebrities, man. Okay, we're servants. We're humble servants, man. That's the state we're in. We're humbly serving the congregation, man. You see? Let's go. Let's keep reading. It says, and that's what the Lord is dealing with, man. Humility. All right. This is Matthew. In fact, let's get that in First Peter. I believe that's First Peter. Um, all right. First Peter 5:2. It said, "Feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind." Okay, let's read this in the NLT. It says, care for the flock that the Most High has entrusted to you, man. So we have the responsibility of the care of the flock. King David, what was he? The shepherd boy. So we're pretty much in the state of a shepherd boy caring for the flock. Okay, and that's a tedious work. You see, when these correction videos come out, rebuke, going into the history, going into, you know, prophecy, going into the news and current events, man, that's feeding the flock, that's caring for the flock, going into, self-development videos and all these different things, man, health and, you know, all it goes into caring for the flock. You see, that we've been entrusted with. We've been entrusted to tend to the flock. Okay? Make sure they're getting their spiritual food. You see? This is not about us, becoming these great celebrities, okay, on YouTube, man. It's not about us going viral and having these debates and trying to show how much knowledge we got, man. This knowledge, all right, isn't to show off. This knowledge is to edify the elect. It's to feed the sheep, okay? Not to take the food of the sheep and put it on display for a Patreon, man, for a cash app. Nah, man. Okay? It says watch over it willingly, not grudgingly. Okay? It's not a burden. Okay? It's not a burden for us to feed the sheep. This is an honor. Because everybody benefits, man. You see, when everybody is in that spirit of a servant, everybody benefits, man. You know, because guess what? The sheep that we're feeding, that's someone's husband, that's someone's father, and they're becoming a better version of themselves. So there's a whole family that's benefiting off these live streams and these epistles, man. Okay, women are becoming better wives and better mothers. So there's families that are benefiting off this, man. That's the reward, not the money. Okay, we're men. We can go earn some money. Okay, it's easy to go earn some money, man. You see, but the thing is that the thing that's gonna pay off eternally, man, is feeding the sheep of the Most High. It said not grudgingly, not for what you will get out of it, but because you are eager to serve the Most High. Okay, we're serving. We're in the mindset of a servant, and that keeps us humble. Okay, we're serving the Lord. We're serving the people. The Lord gonna take care of us on the back end. Then He take care of our daily necessities. We get our daily bread and our daily necessities, man. We good. We're not wanting for anything, man. Okay, we're not destitute. The Lord provides, you know, and that's good enough. But see, when you get greedy, you see, you get greedy and get this mindset, that you should have this certain status, that you should have this certain lifestyle, that you need this certain type of popularity and all. See, that's when you start to manipulate the congregation into serving you, into feeding into you, okay, into pouring it, because a lot of these, you go to these mega churches, and even a lot of these churches in general, the congregation pretty much just sponsors, all right, the lifestyle of a nigga that's lying to him, man. Okay? You go to these false Israelite camps. The congregation is there sponsoring the lifestyle, all right, for to be lied to, man. Okay? Which that's the same thing that the American government does. They lie to you and you pay these taxes and it just sponsors their lifestyle. Okay? That's off leadership. And Yahweh Shah was preaching against that. It says, verse 3 said, don't lord over the people assigned to your care, but lead them by your own good example. Okay? We supposed to be a continuing example, okay, of righteousness, man. A continued example of discipline, man. A good leader doesn't even have to speak all the time. Like, they can just pay attention to your patterns. People should be able to pay attention to your patterns and become better, man. Okay, this is what Yahushua was instilling into the disciples, man. You know, and this is why this letter of Peter, okay, is pushing leadership on the churches. Okay, it says uh yeah, reading on, it says, and when the great shepherd appears, which is Yahweh Shai, you will receive a crown of never ending glory and honor. So we not, here for the temporary status, okay, temporary fame and clout of this world. Nah, man. When Yahweh Shai come, he gonna pay us off. We get paid off then. We not here for the, you know, for the monetary gains. Because it's easy to manipulate Israel, man. It's easy to manipulate, man. All these silly women, simple Jake, they're looking for a character that they can idolize, man. It's easy to put on and be a character for our people and manipulate them out their resources, man. Okay, but that's wicked because you're manipulating them out the resources, and they still, and you got Jakes that don't have a clue what they're a part of. Silly women don't have a clue what they're a part of, man. Okay, but they're spending all these resources and giving their resources to this small group of men, and that's how the elites operate. Okay, the elites have 85 to 90% of the world's wealth. Okay, that's going to 1% of the population, which are those elite families. That's how they run the world. Okay, when the earth is starving, the people of the earth are starving and scrambling. Okay, well, all this wealth is trickling into them. Even when you go into taxes, taxes ain't for, all right, this small group of people to live, okay, these luxurious life, man. Taxes are supposed to benefit everyone. Okay, it's supposed to be a common, um, it's pretty much a treasury that's created, and the ruler will decide, okay, what's the most vital thing that we need to put this money to where everybody benefits, man. Okay, but see, in this society, is all everything is so corrupt, man. The money, just goes to fund egos and lifestyles, you know, which that's poor leadership. But we understand that when Yahweh Shai come back, man, wealth, come on, man, it's gonna be light work. If we was balling under King Solomon, what are we gonna be under Yahweh Shai? One greater than Solomon is here. Okay, and even then, we're still going to know how to be conservative with the wealth and the glory and the honor that we're going to get. We still going to, know how to move with humility in that, man. Okay, this is verse 5. It says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourself unto the elders. Yeah, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For the Most High resisted the proud and giveth grace to the humble. Okay, the in the NLT say God opposes the proud, but favors the humble. Okay, that's what the Lord is dealing with. Men that are learning to rule and lead in humility from the aspect of a servant. Okay, let's go back in Matthew 18. This is Matthew 18 and Matthew 18 and 3, and says, and said, verily I say unto you, except you be converted and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? So greatness starts with humility. Okay? The more humble we are, the higher our ceiling is for greatness, man. Okay? Because greatness without humility leads to self-destruction, man. because pride takes the place of humility when humility is not there. All right, and we see it in real time where you have men that are above correction, can't be told anything. They say they move as if they're beyond. They move as if they're above being judged. Now it goes from thinking that you're above correction to thinking that you don't even you're not even subjugated to be judged. You know, and that's a very dangerous thing because the scriptures go into that. I believe that's Sirach 10. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 10. Um, yep, because the scriptures say, well, he opposed the proud, you know? So you go to Sirach 10 and 12, it says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart, which is his mind, is turned away from his Maker, because the Lord put us here to serve. And when you're in the position of authority and you forget that you're supposed to be serving, okay, then you pretty much start to rebel against the Most High. Okay? He didn't put, like I say, he didn't put us here to be celebrities, man, on no damn YouTube. Okay? He didn't put us here to be worship, to be these personalities that are worship and idolized on YouTube, man. If you're in that spirit, you're in rebellion. You're rebelling from the mission. We're here to serve. Israel needs to be edified. Israel needs to be guided. Israel needs spiritual nutrients, man. Okay? That's what's vital to our people, man. Is sound teaching, sound doctrines, man. Examples of righteousness. That's what Israel needs more than anything, man. Okay? To be cared for. All right? And it says, verse 13, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that have it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly, man. So pride is the beginning of sin. Okay? And this is why you see, all right, the wickedness is flourishing amongst these other congregations, man. Because all that pride is over there, man. Okay? Pride is a dangerous thing, man. you know? So let's go back. Let's get this in the book of another example, all right, of Yahweh Shai moving as a servant. Okay. Now this is St. John 13 and 1. It says, now before the feast of the Passover, when Yahweh Shai knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of the world unto the Father, he knew he was getting ready to be sacrificed, man. Having loved his own, okay, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And he's speaking of the disciples. He's speaking beginning with the first fruits. Okay, the disciples, read this in the NLT. Before the Passover celebration, all right, Yahweh Shah knew that his hour had come to leave the world and return to his Father. He had loved his disciples during his ministry on earth, and now he loved them. It says, and now he loved them to the very end. So, like El Apostle Bar says, man, we have to envision like how Shai's there, he's amongst the disciples and he knowing that he's going to be tortured. Okay? But guess what, man? He said he loved them until the end. And that's one of the things that propelled him to carry through, all right, with that sacrifice, man, was the love that he had for his brethren. And he knew that he had to be, tormented, man, okay, to set everything right, to set everything back on track, man. That's another thing, man. Is a leader has a willingness to sacrifice, man. As a leader, sometimes you lose, okay, but as long as everyone else wins, you really won. You see, a mindset of a leader is of a good leader, of a great leader, is completely different than everyone else, man. Okay? So some situations where you might have to take a loss, but as long as everyone else involved wins, then guess what, man? It's a win for you. Okay? So Yahushua knew that he was going to have to, pretty much take this torture in order to put everyone else in the position to win. Well, the reason why we're in this position now, well, we have this comforter, the word, the Holy Spirit, the understanding, okay? The reason why, a spiritual power is going to come down, okay? Yahweh Shai eventually going to show up in those chariots is based on the sacrifice he made, okay? So, yeah, and that's another thing of leadership. They think way ahead, they think steps ahead. Like you see these elites, the elites think generational. Okay, they don't think of a quick come up. They think generational. Okay, they'll even take a few losses, to win in the long run. Okay, Yahweh Shai, when he made his sacrifice, he was thinking generational. He was thinking eternal. All right, and the one thing you see with these men, they're in it for the short game. Okay, if you're concerned with clouts and views and selling Israel everything, you're here for the short game. You're not thinking long term. You're not thinking beyond this current setup. Okay? But good leadership thinks long term is what they call the long game. When you go into the business. Okay? So going here, it says verse 2 says, and supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Yahushua, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hand, and that he was come from the Most High and went to the Most High. Now, let's read this in the NLT. Yahushua knew, St. John 13:3, Yahushua knew that the Father had given him authority over everything, and that he had come from the Most High and will return to the Most High. So he's sitting in and he's knowing that the Father has given him every authority over everything. Everything, man. Okay? You see this? He's sitting, you gotta understand this is a heavy moment Yahweh Shai is going through. He's thinking he's in his mind thinking, like, Father giving me everything. Now let's see what he does when he realizes that the Father has given him everything and that he's just this one step away from getting this glory, this eternal glory. Okay? Let's see the first thing that he does. It says, let's read this in NLT again, St. John 13:3. Yahweh knew that the Father had given him authority over everything and that he had come from the Most High and will return to the Most High. So he got up from the table, took off his robe, wrapped a towel around his waist. Okay? You read this in the KJV. He rises from supper, so he stopped, he arose from a place of comfort from supper, eating and drinking, and laid aside his garments, okay, and took off a towel and girded himself. So he prepared himself to serve. He understood, like he understood authority was given to him, and he immediately went into the position of a servant. Okay. Yeah, I was trying a great example, man. It says after he poured water into the basin and began, it says after that he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then coming to coming he to Simon Peter, and Peter said unto him, Lord, dost thou wash my feet? Yahweh answered and said unto him, What I do thou, or said, What I do thou knowest not thou. All right, so like it says, verse 7, St. John 13:7. Yahweh answered and said unto him, What I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. So Yahweh was, that's another thing. Yahweh was always teaching. Like everything, like Yahweh was just everything he did, was pretty much a teaching moment. What you call a teaching moment, you know. Which let's look that up real quick. Let's look that up real quick. You know, because when I used to coach Little League, they used to always go into them coaching clinics, and they used to always use that term, a teaching moment. All right, so you go into it. Um, so it says a teachable moment. It says a teachable moment in education is the time at which learning a particular topic or idea becomes possible or easiest. Okay, a time that is favorable for teaching something, such as proper behavior. Okay, so when you read the Gospels, it's just full of these teachable moments. Okay, Yahweh Shai was always teaching, and everything that he did, it was like a teachable moment. You know, so he's washing their feet. He's letting them know, "Look, you don't understand what I'm doing now, but in time you're gonna understand because he was the greatest when he was serving. Okay, so just like Esau put things into, the subconscious of the masses through TVs and commercials and music and signs and billboards, he's always pouring some wickedness into the subconscious of the masses. Well, Yahweh Shah was doing that in righteousness, man. He was always pouring something into, all right, the disciples, okay, which would pretty much in the future would dictate their behavior, okay. So that's why you get to the book of Peter and he's writing and he's sounding like Yahushua. Like when you read the book of Peter, he's sounding like Yahushua in the Gospels, okay? Because Yahushua was always pouring into them, and Peter being the head, he would always, deal with Peter the strictest, man, because he was the head, okay? Um, let's go back. Um, all right, this is St. John 13 and 3. He said, Yahushua answered and said unto him, what I do now, uh, what I what I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. Peter said unto him, thou shalt never wash my feet. Yahushua answered, if I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. Okay, and ultimately, what this word, is we're being washed, with His word, because you go to washing the feet, because what the scriptures say, blessed. All right, I think that's Isaiah. Is it 52? Yep. It says Isaiah 52 and 6. It says, how beautiful upon the mountains are the feet, okay, of him that bringeth good tidings and that published peace, that bringeth good tidings of good, that publishes salvation, that say unto Zion, thy power reigneth. Okay? So going into the washing of the feet, which is the washing of the word, man, is preparing us to spread this good news, man. We've been washed. Okay, Yahweh Shah was putting them, he was preparing them to go spread the news, man. Washing their feet, with your feet, that's your action. You move, how you're moving, okay? The scriptures talk about our feet, shod with the preparation of the gospel, man. Okay? So, um, going back to St. John 13, man, it's St. John 13, and all right, I'm gonna jump down to 12. St. John 13 and 12 says, so after he had washed their feet and had taken his garments and was set down again, he said unto them, Know ye what I have done to you. Ye call me master and Lord, and you say, well, for I am, well, for so I am. Okay? So he's like, look, you call me master and Lord, and you say, well, for so I am. I am your master, I am your Lord. Okay? If then your Lord and master, all right, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that ye should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If you know these things, happy are ye if ye do them. Okay? So he's teaching them like, look, I'm your master, I'm your Lord. All right, ain't no questioning that. I'm your superior. Okay? But as your superior, all right, I have a responsibility. You are my responsibility. Okay? You're not my slave, you're my responsibility. Now you serve me in a capacity, but there's a service that I do to you as well, even in a marriage. Okay, that's why certain men, when they hear the woman being in subjection, they just think that that means that the woman is just this, the woman is just for slave labor, which she's there for to be a servant, of course. But the leadership of the husband should serve the woman. The leadership of a husband should serve the woman. Okay, it should put the woman in a good position, and she's serving you as your wife. Okay? Your leadership should serve the family. It should put the family in a good position. Okay? So it's a two-way street where everyone benefits, man. You see? And Yahweh Shah was teaching the disciple these things, man. Look, you're not here just to be served and pampered. Okay? No, you have a responsibility. You have a duty. Okay? The people that you, all right, are over, you should be serving them. Okay? Your leadership should do a service and a justice to them. Okay, so let's go here. This last example, you know, and I pray that it's making sense. Um, get a couple of these on the comment board before we get that last example. All right. See what y'all brothers got. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Brother posted it. Yeah, so this is, let's see. This is the brother Jehoiash, Judah, Israel, Proverbs 12 and 2. It says, a good man obtaineth favor of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices, all right, will he condemn, you know? And we're becoming those good men, that we're attaining favor, okay? And humility plays a key factor, okay, in obtaining, their favor. All right, this is another um, seen one earlier. Let's see. Just the brother Tyler Mop, um, Yasharala 2, Matthew 5 and 5. Blessed are the meek, all right, for they shall inherit the earth. All right, the leadership that's to come, the rulership that's to come, it's going to be a humble, wise, okay, but it's going to be a firm rulership, you know. It's going to have, a dynamic of austerity to it, okay, but it's going to be fair, it's going to be just, okay. Um, let's see what else we got here. This is Tazamak Yashala, Proverbs 24:3. It says, through wisdom is a house builded, and by understanding it is established. Okay? So the Lord is building, you know, you know, pretty much this third temple, and it's being built with wisdom, and humility, all right, is a major component of this house being built. This is built. One of the foundations is humility. Okay, that we're learning in this captivity. All right, so this is the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 24, and it's similar to Matthew 18:1. But it goes to a different perspective. Luke 22:24 says, and there was also a strife among them, which of them should be accounted the greatest. And he said unto them, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors. So they're, debating about who's the greatest, and he's going into how the Gentile rule, okay, how the heathen rule over their subjects, okay, how pretty much, the subjects, all right, are pretty much just slaves unto the rulers, okay, and the rulers, benefit carnally. All right. It said, but ye shall not be so. But he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger, and he that is chief as he that doth serve. And see, this is, and when we speak about this, the heathens, they're going to be slaves. Okay. Now they're, in the kingdom, they're going to be in the position of slaves. All right. And we're going to benefit off their labor. Okay. That 1,000 years, we're gonna just, reap. Well, that's gonna be our, our startup. You know, like how Esau, he has a head start on all these nations because he benefited off all their free slave labor. And they put him on. So that 1,000 years, we're gonna benefit off the slave labor of the heathens that's gonna put us on. But the way we're gonna rule Israel, because say you shall sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, we're gonna, you're gonna have a government, and we're gonna rule in a way to where our people benefit off our rulership. Okay, Israel is gonna benefit off the off the government of Israel, man. Okay, the common Israelite is going to benefit tremendously. Okay, so Luke 22 and 26 it said, but ye shall not be so, but he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger, and he that is chief as he that doth serve. For whether is greater, he that sitteth at meat, or he that serveth? Is not he that sitteth at meat, but I am among you as he that serveth. Yahweh being that constant example. All right, but then he goes into the back end, like, look, you just be in the mindset of a servant, and this is what this is going, and this what being a servant, okay, as you lead, this is what it's going to lead into. Okay, this is what it's going to bring you to. It said, you are they which have continued with me in my temptations, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father have appointed unto me, that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? So this is what this is leading us to, man. All right, we're going to get the payoff on the back end. It's going to be eternal. Okay, but right now we should be occupied and serving. Okay, that's the capacity that we have. All right, within the ministry now is to be a servant. Okay, and Howard Shaw was a great example. The apostles, you read the book of Acts, and the Apostle Paul, the way he was traveling, he was serving. Okay, establishing churches, setting things in order. Okay, writing letters, and you know, he was serving, and that's how we should be. We should be serving, man. Okay, they always should be occupied in, man. Anyone that's exalting themselves, and you know, 5 minute intro with them, got the cape blowing in the wind, the lightning shooting out their eyes, all this madness, man. Okay, and that's the traits of poor leadership. Okay, so Lord willing, you brothers, all right, and you sister was edified. I just want to go into that, all right, and just push to the brothers, be in that spirit of serving, and even you women, as you serve, you know, whatever capacity you in, whether you have a husband or not, you know, hey, serving, all right, your serving is going to benefit you in the back end as well, man. Everybody is going to benefit from serving. Everybody is going to benefit from serving, man. So next time I say Shalom, call me Ashala or Bob or Boss.